My name is Patrick Slevin. I am the campaign manager for Florida Businesses for Competitive Workforce. We are a coalition that's comprised of 9 Fortune 500 companies, 27 Florida employers, the largest employers in the state, coupled with over 400 small businesses across the state that are all saying the same thing, that we need to pass the Competitive Workforce Act. Also, we have the Florida Hispanic Chamber of Commerce, who represents 80,000 small business owners across the state in their network. I want to thank our sponsors, Senator Abruzzo on Senate Bill 120. Thank you for your leadership. Holly Rashine, Republican from Key West, on House Bill 45, who is here, and also the chair of the Judiciary Committee, who will hear our bill later this afternoon, Miguel Diaz de la Portilla, for having the leadership and vision to hear this bill on this historic day. So I would like to acknowledge some of the folks here that are representing the companies. Richard Turner and Associations, General Counsel of Florida Restaurant and Lodging Association, Bob O'Malley with Florida Government Vice President of CSX, Nadine Smith, CEO of Equality Florida, Vanny Unigan, Director of Global Businesses and Legislative Research for Florida Realtors, Adam Babington with Disney, J.C. Flores, Regional Vice President with AT&T, Christopher Gazette, Senior Vice President and Assistant General Counsel with Home Shopping Network, and John Faith, Executive Director of Global Operations and Client Services with DTCC Florida. And now we'll start with the speakers, and my pleasure to introduce Senator Abruzzo.
Thank you. Good afternoon. I am truly excited for today, but most of all, I want to start out with thanking the Business Coalition. What you have done coming together, big business, small businesses, and as you heard, some of Florida's largest employers, Disney, Florida Blue, CSX, coming together to push this incredible policy. Once this bill is heard and passed today, it will be the most largest leap that we have taken forward in the state of Florida for civil rights in nearly 40 years. And what these companies have done that you've heard their names rattled off a few moments ago, they set their own internal policy within their companies to make sure that they were protecting workers and they were doing what's right. And now it's time for Florida to do what is right. I'm so proud to be joined by Representative Rashine. We've been working at this together through thick and thin through the past few years, and today, by the leadership of the chairman and by the leadership of the Republican majority, this bill will be heard. And it is important that it is heard today so we can move forward in our great fight to make sure that nobody is left discriminated in the state of Florida. Every race, religion, color, creed, and now sexuality needs to be held to the highest regard and respected to the best of our ability, and our bill will do just that. So I want to thank, again, everybody here today. It's been a tremendous ride. We are going to get this done, and I will now turn it back over to who comes up next.
John Thompson of Tech Data.
Thanks, Senator.
Pleasure, of course. Thank you.
Thank you, Senator. I'm John Tonneson, Tech Data Corporation's Executive Vice President and CIO. I stand today representing Tech Data behind the Competitive Workforce Act. Tech Data is Florida's second largest public company. We are a near $28 billion global technology distributor, headquartered here in Florida, but our business partners and our employees are everywhere in the world and as diverse as you can get. That means that our headquarters operations needs to represent that same cultural intelligence and diversity. We rely on and thrive upon being able to attract, develop, and retain highly skilled, technology-oriented talent. That's a challenge throughout the United States, and we hold firm that that a move for Florida towards signaling to the country and the rest of the world a progressive level of equality and inclusion will absolutely resonate with the talents and the kinds of investments that are the nature of the tech industry, which are fundamentally very open-minded and diverse by nature. On top of that, our employee base of around 9,000 people demand of us that we lend our voices and strength to furthering the advancement of the state that they've called home as they join us. And with that imperative, we stand strong and committed, and very firmly believe that both the brands of Florida as a technical skilled state, and I speak for technical industry here, there are many other speakers that will speak for other industries that I've understood have very similar drivers, but the state will benefit from signaling to the country and the world a parity and a voluntary move towards equivalence with a number of the very economically strong states in the technical area, in the technical world. And then we know that our own company will benefit significantly from our association with this beautiful state when the beautiful state demonstrates that it holds the same standards of inclusion and equality that we and many of the Fortune 500 companies have already enshrined in our own doctrines, that when we're in a state and we're supported by a state that rises to those same standards, that we will all benefit both economically and morally. Thank you so much.
Good morning. My name is Bob O'Malley with CSX Transportation, and you might not expect a 185-year-old railroad to be out in front of an issue like this, but this is a very important issue for our company. First and foremost, because we've long offered same-sex partner benefits to our employees, but also because we practice and value diversity both in our hiring practices, but also in our supplier and our procurement with our suppliers through our procurement. And but the reason why we really think this bill is important is because Florida is our headquarters state, and we want Florida to prosper. And there's a saying that capital goes where it's welcome, but also workforce goes where it's welcome, and entrepreneurs go where they're welcome. And we want Florida to be the #1 state in the country in terms of job creation. If Florida does well, that's great for our company. It's great for our headquarters state. So we are fully supportive of this bill, and we encourage other companies in the state to get behind it as well. Thank you.
I'm Jason Altmeyer. I'm a Senior Vice President with Florida Blue, an 11,000 employee health solutions company that touches every corner of this state. And this issue is critically important to us because as employers, we understand that to recruit and retain the highest quality talent, you have to have an open and inclusive workplace. And we have had open and inclusive policies for our employees for many years. We feel that it's time for the state to offer that same level of inclusiveness and openness to employees all across this great state. And every one of those 9 Fortune 500 companies that's part of this coalition, every one of the dozens of other large companies and hundreds of smaller companies and regional chambers that are part of this coalition can tell you that you have to be able to recruit and retain your employees. And when other companies across the country and even across the world are looking to expand their operations, are looking perhaps to relocate their operations, one of the first and most important things they're going to look at is the openness to this type of issue within the employee workforce and the government and the state that they're looking at moving into. So we strongly support adding Florida to the list of many states that have taken this step in the right direction. Our chairman and CEO, Pat Garrity, is chairman of this coalition because we feel so strongly about this. And I mostly want to thank Representative Rashine, Senator Abruzzo, Senator Latvala, who's here, for their leadership, and especially the chairman for bringing this legislation up today. We hope that it's going to move forward and be enacted into law during this session. Thank you very much.
Good morning, everybody. I'm Holly Rashine, and I represent the 120th District in the Florida House, and I stand before you today as the proud House sponsor of the Competitive Workforce Act. House Bill 45. It was the first bill I filed for this legislative season. And we've heard from big businesses, love you guys, but we've also heard from small businesses who oppose discrimination in the workplace. We've got the amazing Florida Realtors Association with us today who oppose discrimination in housing. And of course, we have the awesome Florida Restaurant and Lodging Association who opposes discrimination in public accommodations. And being present today on what is a historic day in the Florida legislature couldn't be a more beautiful day, right? But wanted to give you a little update from my end of the spectrum on the House side of things. I wanted to give a big thank you to my leadership for giving the bill a new path. Last year we got 3 committee references, very different ones from this year. This year we only got 2 references. The Economic Affairs Committee, which of course speaks to the economics of the bill, and then the Judiciary Committee for obvious reasons. And I would be remiss if I did not give a shout out to my 9 Republican co-sponsors out there in the Florida House. Thank you. Yes, a round of applause for them. I can't thank them enough for standing by me and supporting me, and of course, would definitely not want to leave out Chairman Latvala over here, one of our first Senate Republican sponsor on the Competitive Workforce Act, and of course, Senator Travis Hudson. Thank you, Senator, for being here. And again, folks, it's a big day in the Florida legislature, and I can't wait to see the outcome of the committee meeting, which starts at 1. Thank you.
Hey, good morning. I'm Jack Latvala. I represent the 20th Senate District, and I'm just started my 14th year in the Florida Senate. This is an issue that's been on my mind and heart for a long time. I don't support discrimination in any way, shape, or form for any reason. We're all human beings. We're all deserving of the same opportunities as the next person. And this is a way that I've decided to show my belief in that. I would just say, though, that this is a legislature is lawmaking is sort of like sausage making. It takes a while. You put it, you grind for a little while, and then you stop and let it set. And this is not going to be an immediate process. It's going to take a while to get this done. And I think those of us that have signed on for the long haul to work on this until it gets done. A couple of years ago, I did a bill on immigrant tuition, in-state tuition for the children of immigrants. It was a tough slog. And even with one of the presiding officers as a sponsor for that bill, it was still a tough slog. So I don't expect immediate success, but I think we'll take measured steps, and we will move this forward, and we will, before I leave this place in 2 years, my goal is to help Senator Abruzzo and Representative Rushine get this done. 22 other states have accomplished this. In Florida, 11 counties, including the county that I live in, have accomplished this. I think we need to be brave enough to take this on and accomplish this as a legislature. So that's what I have to add. Thank you very much.
I want to thank all the speakers in concluding comments. There's already a movement here that has influenced the outcome here at the Capitol. We have hundreds of local elected officials, both county and city commissioners, both Republican and Democrat, who are already doing the right thing by passing the local version of the Competitive Workforce Act, known as human rights ordinances. And so we do have protection for over half of our state, but that's not good enough. That's patchwork. For companies to thrive and be competitive, there has to be a uniform law across the state to protect LGBTs at the workplace, at hotels, restaurants, and tourism. This has a significant impact on our economy. And so we are looking at a change, a paradigm shift that is in motion, and we expect it to resonate here during session. We're gaining more Republican support, and you can expect to see more of that by virtue of the leadership that we have in this coalition.